Hey guys, welcome back to the Crystal Cures Yoga channel. My name is Crystal. This one is centered around Santosha, which is the second Niyama of the Yamas and Niyamas. And Santosha means contentment. Contentment doesn't mean that we stop striving for better. It means that we let go of the attachment of this thing called better. It means that we let go of this idea of what our life is supposed to be like and love and accept it for what it is. Can we find joy in the present moment regardless of our circumstances? Because every moment has a glimmer of divinity and a glimmer of wisdom in it if we can be content enough to pay attention and notice it. And when you're ready, let's set up on our mat and find some joy together. We'll begin this practice in an upright seated position. You have an option here to stay in your classic Sukhasana or easy pose. Or if you'd like to take it up to the next level, we'll move into seated half lotus. So to do that, bring the heel of your left foot up to your right hip bone, and then lower back down into your left sits bone. And let the weight of your leg fall heavy towards the mat. And whether you're in this half lotus or your Sukhasana, take your left hand and reach it behind your back, just at a 90-degree angle. And if you are in this half lotus and have the range in your shoulder, you can keep reaching the left fingertips around to catch the left big toe. And then take your right hand up to your heart center for some grounding breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more big inhale. Slow exhale. Release the left toes. Extend the left arm down towards the corner of your mat. Right arm reaches for the opposite corner. Walk the hands back a little bit towards the upper right corners of your space, and then lift the heart up towards the ceiling. You can use your fingers like little tents on the earth. And then exhale, walk the fingertips forward, round out the back. Exhale. One more, walk the fingertips back. Inhale, heart lifts up, gaze lifts up. Keep lifting from the low belly. And exhale, round it back. Pull the ribs towards the wall behind you. Good, and then inhale, rise back up through the spine. And then take your right hand and reach it across the left thigh. Lengthen up through the spine and reach the left hand back behind your right hip. Keep lengthening up and deepen that twist. Couple breaths. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Unwind the torso back into the center. And then we'll switch out the legs. If you're in Sukhasana, just change out which leg is on top. If you're going for your half lotus, bring the heel of your right foot up to your left hip bone. Weight of the right thigh releases back down towards your mat. And then the arm variation, reach the right arm behind the back. And then, if it's available, reach further with the fingertips to catch the big toes with your 2 peace fingers. Left hand comes up towards your heart center. And then find your breath here again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Release the toe. Extend the right hand to the edges of the mat. And then extend the left hand back. Inhale, heart and gaze lift up, cow spine. Exhale, round it over. Hollow out the ribs, or the belly rather. And inhale, reach up. Lengthen through. And then round it out. Rise back up through the middle. Left hand reaches across the right thigh. And then the right arm reaches back behind the right hip. Inhale to lengthen up through the spine. Exhale to deepen that twist. 2 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Unwind into the center. Good. Keep your left heel folded in towards your base and extend your right leg out to the corner. So flex your toes up towards your shoulder and feel the energy shooting out all the way from the bottom of your sits bones along the back edge of your leg and through the back heel. Reach through the arms, lengthen up, inhale, and don't lose that energy. You'll feel a little bit of external rotation in the right leg as well. And then start to hinge forward. The more you hinge forward, feel even more energy coming out through the heel. And then rise back up through the center. Right arm reaches towards the left knee, and the left arm reaches up and over for a side body stretch. Lengthening through each of those ribs on the left side there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen up through the side body. And then flip your alignment towards the corner. So you're drawing that right hip back a little bit. Keep reaching up through that left arm And then reach over the right leg. Breathe through the hamstring here. Inhale. Exhale. Rise back up. And then we switch out the legs. Right heel comes up to the root. Left leg extends out to the side. Energize through the heel from the sits bone all the way down the back of the leg. Spine lengthens, arms reach down and out. And then find that hinge forward. The more you reach forward, the more energy comes out of that heel. And rise it back up. Root back into those sits bones. And then the left arm reaches for the right knee. And right arm reaches up and over towards the left foot. Find space in between all of the right ribs. Big inhale. And exhale. Engage to rise back up through the middle. Flip the focus to the corner. Draw the left hip back. And then reach forward over the left leg. Breathe through the hamstring. And then we rise back up. Good. Bring both feet together, long on the mat. Step the feet right below the sits bones. Reach through the arms. Find the length. Find the contraction of the lower abdominals into the spine. And then slowly lower back. One vertebrae at a time. Lower the palms down to the mat. Press through the soles and the palms. We'll start to roll up into bridge pose. Melt the shoulders back into the mat. Engage the low belly to lift the sacrum. Low back, mid back, upper back, all the way up to the heart. And reverse. Heart, upper back, mid back, low back, sacrum. Again, roll up with an inhale. And lower with an exhale. Up, inhale. Lower, exhale. One more to rise up and hold it up here at the top. Then we'll take a little pulse through the hips for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower it back down, upper back, mid back, low back, and sacrum. One more time to rise up and hold. Rise up through the sacrum, all the way up to the heart. This time, give your shoulders a little shimmy underneath the shoulder blades. And then extend your arms off to the corners, bringing your pointer finger just under your thumb in your wisdom mudra. Hold this bridge pose for 2 full breaths. Inhale, beaming the heart up towards the ceiling. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Release the shoulders from underneath the shoulder blades. then melt back into the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Nice work, you guys. Squeeze your right knee up into your chest, extend the left leg long, and then switch out the knees. Left leg squeezes in, right leg extends long. And then again, switch out the legs, right knee in, left leg long. This time, draw the belly into the mat to roll the shoulders up off the mat. And then switch out the legs, left knee in, right leg long. Again to the right. And again to the left. We'll take the arms back behind the head now as you continue to move the right leg in and the left leg. Right leg and left leg. Now we'll add in the twist here. Right leg in, left elbow comes to meet it for yogi bicycles. Switch out the legs, right elbow to the left knee and to the right. Left, right, left. Exhale every time you twist. Exhale, 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 exhale. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees back into your chest. Start to rock up and down on the spine. Create some momentum and let it feel good as well. A little massage for your back. And then bring yourself all the way up into a seat. Place your palms down on the mat. Shift the weight to the palms to step the feet back
to your high plank pose. Drop those hips down in line with the shoulders. Feel one long line from the crown of your head through your heels. Squeeze the low belly in towards the sacrum, ribs in. Deep breath, inhale. Exhale.
Shift it back to downward facing dog. Good. You can take a little walk through your heels if you need to adjust. And then melt those heels down into the mat. Shoulders melt towards the thighs. And then keep lifting up those hips towards the ceiling. Right leg lifts up for 3-legged dog. Hips stay squared at first. Feel that energy out through the heel. And then open up the hip. Enjoy that movement that you find here. Level the hips back off. And with the right leg still elevated, we'll shift forward into a high plank. Good. Now lower the right toes down. Shift it back to downward dog again. Exhale. Left leg rises. Inhale, squared hips, flexed heel. And open up the hip. Find the space in the left hip. Explore the movement. Square the hips back off. And we shift forward, high plank. With the left toes elevated, left toes lower, shift it back, downward dog. One more round to each side. Right leg lifts, open up the hip, square the hips off, and then shift forward. And downward dog. Last time on the left side, left leg lifts, inhale, open hip, exhale, square the hips, inhale, high plank, exhale, slipped a little, lower the left toes down, Stay in the high plank.
And then we'll lower down through your chaturanga. So press firmly through the palms and draw the shoulder blades down the back to engage the lats. Wrap the elbows inward. We lower down all in one piece. And as your heart nears the edge of your mat, pull the heart through to lift it up towards the ceiling. Gaze goes up into your cobra or upward facing dog.
Press through the palms to send the hips back to child's pose.
Send a breath of calmness to your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Then lead with the crown of the head to snake the body back, forward, articulate through the spine.
Cobra or upward facing dog. Melt the shoulders down the back. And then shift back to child's pose. Exhale. Inhale, snake forward. Child's pose. Exhale. One more round. Snake it forward. Inhale. And child's pose. Exhale.
Take in another full deep breath here, letting this breath be like a warm hug around your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the calmness.
Step your toes underneath you so that you're pressing down on your toes. Shift the hips back to the heels. Walk the hands back. And now slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Draw the inner thighs together here. And then adjust the heels as needed. So you'll feel some stretch through your Achilles tendon and through your calves here. If it's accessible, reach your hands down to catch your heels for broken toe pose. Keep lengthening through the spine, peel the shoulders back. And just ponder contentment for a moment here. Most of us would associate contentment with being satisfied, being at ease, being at peace. But peace does not always mean to be in a place where there is no noise, no trouble, or hard work to be done. To be at peace means to be in the midst of all of those things and still be able to find peace in your heart. Can you find that peace, that stillness in your heart right here? And walk the hands forward, lift the hips up to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Step the feet up to the top of the mat. Soften the knees into your forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. Option to wrap in your hamstring. You could even place your blocks in front of you here. And then we sit the hips all the way back into chair pose. Fire up the core and the thighs. Swing the right arm back in a little bit of an open twist. Reach the left hand down to your mat or your blocks, which are conveniently right here, into a twisted forward fold. So lengthen back through the legs. Option to take the gaze all the way up to the top hand. And feel the energy in those fingertips in the top hand. Let it pull you back up into standing. And then the left arm comes to join it. You're now in your mountain pose with your arms extended towards the ceiling. Shift weight into your left foot so that your right foot can rise freely off the mat. In your one-legged mountain pose, keep pressing the shoulders down the back. We'll float down into eagle wrap. So cross the right leg over the left leg, and right arm crosses under the left arm. Then bend the elbows, maybe take the double wrap in the arms, maybe take the double wrap in the legs. If balance is still something you're working on, you can tap your right toes down to the mat like a little kickstand. Keep squeezing the belly in. And rise back up through the standing leg, back to one-legged mountain. Arms reach high, shoulders press down. Step the right foot back to warrior one. So spiral the heel down towards the mat. Hips stay square to the front. Good. Externally rotate the back leg so that you can press all the way through the edge of the back foot. And then open it out to warrior two. Maybe even get a little deeper in your lunge. Can you get that front thigh parallel to the mat? And then we reach forward to extended side angle, reaching the left hand down to the mat or perhaps to your block if you prefer that. And take a few arm circles here to explore some movement in your top shoulder. And don't lose any bit of the lunge. And then we shift down to wide-angled forward fold. Take any extra movement that you need here. Let the weight of the head release. And then turn your toes towards the corners. Bend over the knees to come up into goddess pose. Bringing your arms up to goalpost and fingers come back to that wisdom mudra. Tucking the pointer finger underneath the thumb. And can you get deeper in this goddess pose? Can we get those thighs parallel to the mat again? And keep finding that external rotation. Good. Turning towards the back side of your mat into high lunge. Keep the wisdom mudra, but extend up through the arms. Lower the hands down to the mat. Lower the back knee down to the mat for low lunge. Arms sweep up overhead for a little back bend. And a deep release in the left hip flexor. Hands float back down to the mat. Tuck the back toes under. Big shift back to downward facing dog. We'll take that sequence on the second side. Step forward to the top, facing the back this time. Sit back into chair pose. Spread the toes wide, engage through the core. Keep hugging the ribs into the midline. Swing the left arm back and up towards the ceiling. Right arm reaches down. And then lengthen through the legs for your twisted forward fold. Energize the left fingertips. Reach up through left fingertips, coming up to mountain pose. Right arm reaches up to join the left. And transfer weight to the right foot. Left heel rises, one-legged mountain. Keep spreading the toes wide. Lace up through the core, through the ribs, through the upper back. And eagle wrap the legs, bending into the right leg. Cross the left leg over the right thigh. Arms float down, left arm under the right.
Bend the elbows and then wrap the forearms around each other. And then option to double wrap the ankle around the standing calf. You can always rest that toe down on the floor. Then unwind and rise it back up to one-legged mountain.
And the left foot steps back to warrior one. Left heel drops down. Deepen the front lunge. Square off the hips. Press to the edge of the foot. And open it out, warrior two. Energy through those fingertips still, equally through both ends. And extended side angle, right arm reaches down for the mat or the block, or even to a hover if you prefer. And then find some movement in the left arm. Wide angled fold towards the middle. Both hands come to center. Feet both turn to parallel. Breathe through the hamstrings. Toes turn to the corners. Knees bend over toes. Rise up through goddess pose. Wisdom mudra. It's hard work, but can you feel the joy? And turn to high lunge towards the front. Extend through the arms. Hands lower down to the mat. Back knee drops down for lunge. Arms reach up for an inhale. Release the right hip flexor. Hands lower down to the mat. Tuck the back toes under. Step the left foot back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times through. Hop up to the top or step. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, heavy hips, inhale. Swing the right arm back, exhale. Forward fold. Reach up to rise, inhale. Shift the weight, exhale. Eagle wrap, inhale.
Right arm under left arm, right leg over left leg.
Unwind, inhale. Warrior one, exhale. Warrior two. Inhale. Side angle, exhale. Find a stretch, exhale. Wide angled fold. And rotate the toes, bend the knees, goddess squat. Arms up. High lunge to the back. Hands down to the mat. Low lunge. Inhale, reach up. And down dog, exhale. Step or hop it up to the top. Forward fold. Chair pose, inhale. Left arm swings back, exhale. Reach up to rise. Inhale. Transfer the weight, exhale. Eagle wrap. Inhale.
Find the balance. Exhale. And then rise back up. Inhale.
Warrior one, exhale. Warrior two, inhale. Side angle, exhale. Find a stretch. Wide angle, exhale. Goddess pose, inhale. High lunge. And low lunge. Arms reach. Down dog. One more time through each side. You can do it. Big inhale. And exhale. Step or hop it up to the top. Forward fold. Sit it back to chair. Right arm back. Rise up. Shift to the left. Eagle wrap. Unwind. Warrior one. Warrior two. Side angle. Forward fold. Goddess. High lunge. Low lunge. Gaze lifts. Down dog. Last time through. Step or hop. Forward fold. Chair pose. Left arm back. Rise up. Shift to the right. Eagle wrap. Unwind. Warrior one. Warrior two. Side angle. Arm moves. Wide angle. Goddess squat. And high lunge. Low lunge. And down dog. Nice work, you guys. Awesome flow. Deep breath in and out. Knees lower down to the mat. Send the hips back to a child's pose.
By breathing this calmness into our heart, we open up our ability to let go of those attachments that aren't serving us. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the warmth around your heart. From your child's pose, start to tuck your toes underneath you. Lift the hips up to downward facing dog. Then step up to the top of your mat, heavy hips, wide toes, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time into standing mountain pose. Energize through the legs. Shine the heart forward, palms face forward. Feel the core engage. Then you shift your weight into your right foot. The left leg rises up to one-legged mountain. Wide toes. Bring the left hand up to your hip. Right hand reaches across the left knee. Root down through the heel and begin to rotate your shoulders open to the side wall for dancing Shiva. If you have the range, reach the right foot down to the outer edge of the right foot. Then kick the foot into the hand to lengthen the leg. You'll counterbalance the weight by reaching the left arm to the back wall behind you.
So I'll just show you it quickly from the other side. That was a tricky pivot. Keep squeezing the belly to the spine. Good, and then bend that front leg, left arm comes back to the hips. Bring your left foot up to the right hip bone for standing half lotus pose. And again, if half lotus isn't something that you're ready for in your hips, you can just take it into tree pose in the inner thigh. If you're doing the half lotus, let the weight of the knee fall down towards the earth. Bring your left hand up to your heart center. Right arm will come to join it. And then it's helpful to flex through that left foot to help protect the ankle. And then slowly start to sit back into the right leg, like a deep chair pose. For your figure 4 pose, breathe into the outer left hip. And then rise it back up, one-legged mountain. Lower the foot down to mountain pose. Bring the hands to your heart center. Deep breath, inhale. Root through the feet, exhale. Shift into the left foot. Right leg rises. Right hand comes to the hip, left arm reaches across the left thigh, dancing Shiva, lengthen the spine, then twist it over to the side. And if you'd like to reach for the edge of the right foot with the left hand, press the left foot into the hand, right arm reaches towards the wall behind you. Maybe even take your gaze to your back fingertips if you're feeling it. Keep squeezing that belly into the spine. Right hand comes back to the hips, unwind the chest back to the center, bend through the right leg. Right toes come up to the left hip. Standing figure four pose. Standing half lotus. Right hand to the heart center. And the left hand joins it. Flex the right heel as you start to sit it back. Now you're standing figure four. Breathe into the outer right hip. And rise back up through one-legged mountain. Root through the feet. Squeeze the ribs in. And lower it down, mountain pose. Hands back to heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Interlace the hands behind the back. Peel the shoulders back. Heart lifts up. And then hinge forward with soft knees. Release the arms down to the mat. Step the feet back into high plank. Lower through chaturanga here. Exhale, wrap the elbows in. Pull the heart through to cobra. Shoulders press down the back. Inner thighs hug together. Option to stay in cobra or press through the palms up into king cobra. This is different than upward facing dog because your thighs stay connected with the mat here. You might have more of a bend in your elbows. That's okay. Keep lifting up through the core. And then bend the back toes for a quad stretch. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Let the weight of the head fall back. Energy reaching toes towards the crown of the head. And release the toes back down through the mat. Keep the core super engaged as you lower one vertebrae at a time so that you don't shock your spine. And bend the back knees. Rock them side to side. Moving through that one more time. Lengthen the legs, hug in the inner thighs. Press through the palms, heart lifts up. Inhale. Fire through the arms. Exhale. Bend the toes. Inhale. Lengthen through the crown. Exhale. One deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Lift up the core, lower the toes. Core stays engaged, lower, nice and slow. Windshield wipers side to side.
Extend your legs long down the mat.
Bring the palms underneath the shoulders. Press the hips back to a child's pose with the toes still here. Then start to roll up the spine, coming back to that broken toe pose that we found at the beginning. Wrap the palms around the heels, peel the shoulders back. And then start to hollow out the belly, rounding the spine over, and lean the top of the head down towards the mat. Make contact with that flat top surface of the head. And then the hips up off the heels. Lengthening the back side body. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Release the hands. Bring them underneath the shoulders again.
Slowly unfurl the spine into tabletop. Hips lift up into downward dog. Right leg lifts up. Inhale. Bend the knee and then shift the right shin forward into your pigeon pose, settling the weight over the right leg, keeping those hips squared to your front. Option to place a block underneath the right hip or any other prop that you have nearby. And then walk the hands out over the leg, taking a few breaths in your pigeon pose. Inhale. Exhale. Letting that contentment wash over you here. There was a quote that I stumbled upon a few weeks back from a choreographer named Mia Michaels, and she said, "Don't be afraid of starting over because you might like your new story better." Walk the hands back. Lift the weight up out of the right leg. Tuck the back toe under. Send the right leg back to downward facing dog. And now the left leg lifts up to three-legged dog. Open up the hip. Shift the left shin forward to the mat. Slowly release the weight over the left leg. Untuck the back toe. Let the weight settle from the hips and then melt the chest over. I think that quote spoke to me in that moment because it embodied this idea of Santosha, of contentment, of not being attached to what is or what could be, but to just celebrate these individual moments that we have and enjoy the journey that they take us on. It takes that bit of contentment to open up our awareness, to really feel and let in all the joy and wisdom that's around us. Walk up through the left hands. This time, just shift over the left hip and swing your right leg back around to the front. Extend both heels out to the corners for a wide-angled forward fold. Ooh, both of my hips just cracked. And this time, you don't have to worry about energizing through the legs. Just let them release over. Just in their natural shape. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Shift it back. Hug the legs back into the midline. And then we'll recline onto our backs, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders melt in, arms peel off, drop the knees over to the left side. Inch the left shoulder over to reconnect the right
Gaze over the right shoulder.
What's an attachment or an expectation in your life that may be limiting your full potential to thrive and be joyful? It can be challenging to identify these things, but when we do, that liberates us to let them go and to live that full potential.
One more breath on this side. Inhale. And exhale. Knees come back to the center. Inhale. And drop them over to the right side. Exhale. Inch over the right shoulder. Flatten down the left shoulder. Maybe take the gaze over the left shoulder.
Our full potential lives in the present moment. And at the heart of the present moment is contentment, celebrating the present. I like to think that practicing yoga is a way of celebrating the present. But even after this practice is over, what can you do to continue this celebration?
One more deep breath on this side. Inhale. And exhale. Knees come back into the center. And then slowly step them down below you for your final Shavasana. Last big breath in. Fill up your body with joy and contentment. Exhale, let it all settle. Here you are free of any attachments. You are complete with the knowledge that you are already complete. You are whole. You are divine. You are exactly what you're meant to be, who you're meant to be, and where you're meant to be. Bring your hands up to your heart center. I wish you all endless contentment and joy in your life. With all my love and gratitude, my light bows to yours. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope you found a little dosage of peace in that practice. And if you did or enjoyed it in any other way, please throw me a thumbs up down below, add a comment, let me know what you thought or what you might like in your next yoga practice. And please subscribe to my channel, Crystal Cares Yoga. Until next time.